Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to another video where we discuss on the whiteboard. So, hope you guys are enjoying the style of video. As thoughts kind of come to my head, as video ideas kind of come to my head, I'm just gonna make them, cover some topics that I think are valuable, things that I've learned, and hopefully it helps you guys. So leave a like, hope you enjoy the video. So today, what I want to talk about is honestly kind of like work ethic and really, when do you see success? Now, success, question mark. When do you see success? Now, you know, I read a really good book. It's called Atomic Habits, right? So I'm gonna write that down. So, there's this really good book I read. I believe it's by James Clear, called Atomic Habits. And really the gist of the book is that small wins of the atomic size, which are very small, of atoms, really add up, and that's what causes change. Over time, these small wins add up. Now, this can be like quite a frustrating thing because small wins are not very measurable unless a lot of time has passed, right? So when you're looking at, you know, these small wins, you know, you can get very discouraged. You can feel like you want to give up. You can feel almost like what you're doing is not working, right? But just remember that small wins add up, right? And another thing that I want to talk about, guys, to achieve success is you got to work even when you don't feel like it. You know, motivation comes and goes. You know, sometimes all it takes is for you to watch a motivational video, listen to a song, wake up in the right mood, and then all of a sudden you're motivated. 5 minutes later, that motivation can be gone. You know, so you shouldn't be basing your life, basically what I'm saying, guys, off of motivation. So what should you base your life off of? Well, it's something called discipline. Now, discipline is something that's going to tell you that you have to work today, even when you don't feel like it. You got to work today, even though you don't want to. You got to work today, even though you feel tired. The list goes on and on. You may feel unmotivated. You may feel like what you're doing has no impact. You may feel like what you're doing is not working. But honestly, you just got to stay disciplined. You got to put in the hours. You got to put in the days. And you got to keep grinding. So that brings me to my graph here. So what's the you know, the whole point of me making this video, honestly, guys, is really just to encourage you. I'm not stating myself, I'm not stating myself as some guru. I'm not stating myself as some super high intellectual or a doctor or anything like that. You know, these are just things that I want to talk about, some of the things that I've learned, and honestly, some of the things that I'm working on myself, because, you know, I'm not where I want to be in life. You know, I'm grateful, I'm happy, and, you know, I'm not satisfied, but I'm very grateful, and I just want to achieve more. And I'm on this journey just as much as you guys are. I'm not some super successful person already. I've had, of course, successes in my life. I've had improvements in my life. And, you know, there's a lot of things that I've improved and changed. And even where I'm at today, I'm continuing to get better and gaining success. And I just want to keep getting better. I want to bring you guys on this journey with me. And I want you guys to get better too. And I hope that as these video ideas come to my head and as these thoughts, and the best way that I can explain it and the best way that I can explain it from my point of view, hopefully that, you know, this information really registers with you guys and really hits a note with you guys. So, you know, this is really all my point of view. So, you know, a lot of things in life can look like this graph. And the whole point of this graph, guys, is that you got your hours worked at the bottom, you got your success at the top. Obviously, the higher you go, the more success, the more you go on the x-axis or horizontally, the more hours worked. Now, just kind of tying in basically the first 2 points that I said. Now, when we want to achieve success, which is what we're talking about, there's going to be this large time where there is no vertical ascension, so no success, but there's a lot of horizontal movement, and that's the amount of hours that you're putting in. And sometimes, guys, things aren't linear, so things don't necessarily look like a one-to-one. It's not like you put in 1 hour of work, you see success, you put in another hour of work, you see success. Now, small wins add up, but small wins don't always add up in the way that you see them give you results every day. So what I mean by this is you might go, guys, and this really depends on the thing that you're trying to achieve. I always encourage people to have long-term goals, long-term thinking. Picture yourself where you want to be in the future. Obviously have steps to get there, short-term steps, short-term achievements, short-term points to keep moving yourself along to that long-term goal. But you're going to have a period of time, guys, depending on what you're trying to achieve. Obviously, the thing that you're trying to achieve, if it's greater, you're going to have a greater horizontal ascension, where basically you're putting in hours, you're putting in days, day after day. Now, a huge thing about this channel is fitness, so this can really strongly apply to fitness. So you might go weeks and even months dieting, depending on where you're starting, and not really seeing much of a change. Now, you will see that you're getting smaller, but you're not looking like that fitness physique that you want. You're not looking like that bodybuilder. You're not looking shredded. And you get to a certain point, guys, honestly, of putting in the days, putting in the hours, weeks, months, years, whatever it is, and then all of a sudden you hit this point where all of a sudden you hit a breakthrough. And this is a breaking point. A lot of people call it a threshold. And this is sometimes people will quit here, people will quit here. Maybe a year or two has gone by and somebody's saying, you know what, I've been working so hard on this business, or I've been working so hard on this diet. I'm getting leaner, but I'm not getting to where I want to be. I'm not looking like this shredded six-pack. You know what, I'm just going to give up. And instead of keeping with their plan, they give up, they go back to where they're at, beer gut and all, quit their business, never reach their success, never keep going up, never achieve their dreams, never achieve what they want to achieve. Now, if you would have just kept pushing and realized that you're right at this point, now all of a sudden the next day when you put in work, all of a sudden you get a meeting that you've never had before. You get a sales pitch that you've never had before. You get a client that you've never had before. You get a good mark on a test that you've never had before. You wake up with a new low weigh-in. All of a sudden you can see an ab definition that you've never seen. You see a vein that you've never seen before. And all of a sudden you're at a low enough body fat now where the weight that you're losing now has more of a direct impact on what you look like. And now this is very true. Once you get to a point that you're at a certain level of leanness, as you continue to lose weight, it's going to have more of a dramatic impact on your overall look. Now all of a sudden you're climbing this ladder and now you're seeing so much success. And this slope could be like this, or it could be like this, depending on what it is. Now, all of a sudden, the amount of work that you're putting in, you're reaping exponential results. Now, the reason that I bring up this graph is basically just to say, guys, you have to have perseverance. To get what you want in life, you really got to persevere. Small wins, work when you don't feel like it. Over time, you will get the results. I'm telling you, this is huge. Keep this graph in your mind. You might be, there's this great analogy where I saw basically a tunnel this long and the gold right here, close to the end, and then two diggers digging. And one of them stopped so close and turned back, but there was so much that he dug, so it looked like he was just working in vain. Nothing was happening, nothing was working. The other digger kept digging, and then instead of quitting right before the gold, the big stack of gold, that worker kept going, hit the gold, hit the jackpot, went home. Sometimes you're working your butt off and nothing's happening. And I just want to encourage you guys to persevere, because if you want success, you have to keep going. You never know. You never know when it's going to come. You never know where you are on this graph, you don't know. I added a little extension there because sometimes you might be successful, you might have a drop in your business, you might go up and down, up and down. But the whole point is if you persevere, if you learn as you go, and if you're constantly improving, you're going to keep going up. It's just a matter of when. I also heard this great quote from somebody that said, I saw this on Instagram, so I give credit to them. I can't remember who it was, but it was somebody saying, imagine if you were to want to start a business and you were 20 no's away from $1 million. How excited would you be to have your first no? Because the more that you get, you're one step closer to getting that last no, then getting your yes, and then having your ascension to the top. The same kind of idea applies here. We don't know where we are in this. We don't know how long it's going to last. But one thing I guarantee you guys is if you keep pushing, if you keep working hard, if you keep improving, you learn from your mistakes, this part here is coming. And it's only going to come for those that persevere, that remember that small wins add up, little improvements every day, over a year, over 5 years, over 10 years. You can become someone, I'm telling you guys, that you had never, ever thought you could have become. And you have to stay disciplined. With that, I'm checking out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it motivates you more than anything. Success in whatever area of life that you want to achieve really comes down to perseverance amongst many other factors. Don't forget this graph. Remember, you don't know when your ascension is going to begin, so keep working because it will come. See you guys in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed this one.